Hey there, I want to show you how you can easily mix vocals in FL Studio using only stock plugins. If you're new, hit the subscribe button down below and let's get started. So right here I have the song.
Oh, Coco below, I like it the way you move. Sexy, 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 Rose. Oh. She making me to lose on my mind. Oh, pretty Adora, dancing body.
So I'll be showing you how you can easily transform this song into a professional mix, and then you can upload it on streaming platforms for your fans and your audience. So right here we have this vocal and we have other vocals right here. We're going to get to them. That is the backup vocals and harmonies, because I assume most people will have, aside from lead vocals, they may also have backups and harmonies, so you know how to approach them. So we're going to start with the lead vocals because it's the easiest to start with and usually the most ideal place to start from. So the first one to do is set the tempo, okay? So when we start applying time-based effects like reverb and delay, it will all match. So if you don't know how to set the tempo, just double click on the beat, okay? Right click here and then come to detect tempo. So most times it needs to be either between 75 to 150 or 100 to 200. So I'm going to click 75 to 150. You see 96 BPM. So I simply click set. So that's set, and if I play with my metronome,
Go Coco below, I like.
So you should have that consistent count, okay? Now, before you even start applying effects, especially tuning effects, the first thing you should know is the key of your production. Now, this song is in E minor. There are free websites and tools you can use to detect the key. One of them is tunebars.com/analyzer. Just simply upload the beats on the website and you get the key. And then I'm going to use these presets. Now, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through the presets even if you don't have it, but I do recommend you get it because it's going to make mixing a lot easier and faster. And the best part is affordable. So I'm going to come to these presets and I'll come to vocal chains. I'm going to use the stock, okay? Then simply drag and drop on the lead vocals. Now, the best part of this effect is that you can actually swap things out that maybe you don't want them, or you don't like how they sound, or you prefer a different alternative. For example, you may not like Pitcher in FL Studio. You can swap it out for Auto Tune or Waves Tune or whatever tuning platform or whatever tuning program you use, right? So then you have limiter. What this does is basically take out the noise. Okay, it acts like a noise gate. So that's why the noise gate here is active. And if you feel like it's working too hard, you can simply adjust the threshold so that it doesn't cut out too much of the vocal. Let me solo the vocal so you hear.
Go Coco below, I like it the way.
So I can
Go
reduce it,
Coco.
then adjust.
Go Coco below, I like it the way you move. Sexy, sexy, sexy. Go Coco below, I like it the way you move.
Now, because this recording is clean, you don't hear much of a difference. But if you had like hums or background noise, so that actually help you take it out. Okay, so if you want it to be exaggerated, you can increase the threshold. If you want to be less exaggerated, you can reduce the threshold. Okay, it's that simple. So just use Fruity Limiter and you've fixed that. So the next thing we want to do is use EQ to take out three main areas, okay, which is the low end mod, and then the mid-range resonance, and then the high frequency harshness, which is common in a lot of home recordings. Okay, so these are the vocal sounds when it's not engaged.
Go Coco below, I like it the way you move. Sexy, 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 Rose. Oh.
And when it's engaged,
Go Coco below, I like it the way you move. Sexy, 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 Rose. Oh.
you can hear that it sounds cleaner and fits even better. And the next thing we're going to look at is the compressor. I may need to turn on the beat now. What the compressor does is basically keep the vocals even and consistent in the mix, okay? So if I press play,
Go Coco below, I like it the way you move. Sexy, 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 Rose. Oh. She making me to lose on my mind. Oh.
now if I fast forward it to a part that's more dynamic, right, that is more inconsistent, you hear the compressor actually working. Because I know lots of people say they don't hear compressor working, but trust me, compression is important in vocals. When I turn it up,
The lady said she no want leave me on my day. Say my number don't they put her on no day. Moving very bad, 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 yes she know. Moving very bad, 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 yes she know.
you can hear how some parts sound really loud and some parts sound quiet, but when it's turned on,
The lady said she no want leave me on my day. Say my number don't they put her on no day. Moving very bad, 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 yes she know. Moving very bad, 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 yes she know.
and if you feel like it's not catching it enough, you can simply adjust the threshold to a higher number, or if you feel like it's working too hard, you can relax it. Okay, again, that's why it's very flexible for you to use. Increase the gain to compensate for the drop in volume.
The lady said she no want leave me on my day. Say my number don't they put her on no day. Moving
let's come to this part where it's more obvious. This is when it's off. When it's on. You can hear that, it sounds even better. Now for picture, sure, we can work with picture. Let's turn it on and use the key of this song is actually E minor. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to look at is de-essing, okay, because most times when you record, there are going to be some sharp S's in your vocal recordings, okay? So this will help smoothing it out. So this is the Yulin Intelligent De-esser. It's a stock plugin in FL Studio. I know many people don't know this plugin, but this was how far I went to make sure I created a preset and a vocal mixing chain that actually goes deep into FL Studio but gives you really good results. And then you want to have a second EQ. This EQ just basically it's more like a cosmetic EQ, right? It just basically enhance desirable frequencies. You can see right here, there's a slight boost in the high end because when you de-ess, most times you lose a little bit of high frequency information, okay? You can see there's a cut in the low frequency and then there's a slight dip in the mids. What this does is that it dips the vocal a little bit into the beat so that it sits more in the beat. So let's hear it without it. When it's on. Then right here, I have a multi-band compressor. Now what this does is basically adds more shine to the vocal. So this is how it sounds when it's off. Now if you do lose volume when you turn this on, all you have to do is just simply adjust the gain right here. So you can hear that it makes the vocal sound even brighter and more crisp in the mix. And then when I come to this guy right here, this spreads the vocal out in the mix to make it sound a bit more stereo because most modern mixes sound a bit wide. So I'm going to turn this on. When it's off, it sounds very centered and focused. When it's on, it feels a bit wider, okay? And you can adjust if you want more width, you can increase it, but I would not recommend you do this because the preset works most times. But if you just want more for creative reasons, you can simply adjust the mix here. And then right here we have a limiter. And what this does is just basically act like a third compressor that just keeps the vocal even more locked in. Again, if you lose some volume, you can increase the gain. Wherever I see a gain button in any of the plugins, that's just simple. You can turn it up or turn it down if you feel like it's doing too much. I don't think I would like a limiter in this mix, and that is the good thing with this preset. You can turn off what you don't want and you can leave what you want, so, or you can even swap it out. Finally, we have saturation. This just simply makes the vocal sound a bit heavier in the mix, makes it come alive a little bit more. So when this is how it sounds when it's off. When it's on. It wants to be brighter. It wants to be darker. If you want more saturation overall, you can increase the preamp. But I recommend you leave it as it is. Now, you don't have to do all of these tweaks because the only thing you need to really work on is just the pitch to set the key and the scale, and you should be fine. Like, that's really what most times you need to adjust, and maybe, just maybe, the limiter to work on noise in the vocal if you have noise or if you have noticeable noise. But aside from that, you should be fine with every other setting in here in the preset. Okay, so you don't really need to go back and keep dialing and switching. Most times you're going to get really good results. Okay, now if I turn it off, when I turn it on, but you can easily hear that it's sounding a lot better, right? It sounds a lot better. And you can keep going on, come to sends right here. You can come to parallel comp, we can use the stock. So parallel compressor just simply makes your vocal sound a little bit thicker. Okay, so I'm going to send it in here. And that's pretty much it. So you can simply adjust how much send you want.
Tonight, oh my darling, 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 oh you are see body, see body, see body.
All right, then we can then add reverb. Okay, so I'm going to come to reverb again, stock, come to reverb, send. So because most of these effects, they are best when you apply them as send rather than as direct effects, then I can just send it in here, and you can simply increase either the volume here or you can adjust it from the send. Okay, so
moving very bad, 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 yes you know, moving very bad, 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 yes you know. In a DVD propagate, I hit the volume, making you jam me to the night. Shake it, stop it, cause I will chop it tonight. Oh my darling, 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 oh you are see body.
So if you notice, I could hear some heavy breath. I can come to this limiter right here and adjust threshold. You can hear that it's gone. And if you want even more reverb, you can simply increase this right here. So the next I'm going to work on are the backup vocals. I'm going to turn this on. So I'm going to pan these two in opposite directions because, you know, you can see them harmonizing here. So this will go right. This will go left. Now, I recommend you go wider, okay, when it comes to backup vocals or harmonies, okay, but again, not too wide, maybe like 20 to like 40%, all right, depending on how wide you want it to be. They don't have to be on equal measure, just adjust it so you hear it sounds, you know, weighted, well balanced in the ear. So I'm going to come right here, adjust the volume.
Stop it, cause I will chop it tonight. Oh my darling, 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 oh you are see body, see body, see body.
And I'm going to come and tune this because, you know, they are not sounding tuned. Now I recommend you tune your vocals separately. Do not send them to a group and tune them all together. Tune them separately. So I'm going to come back to tuning under the presets, then come to tuning, and then simply just highlight the vocals that need tuning, and then come to light tuning. You want light, let's use heavy tuning, stock, okay? And then just drag and drop. You can see the effects applied automatically on each one, but you have to set the key, okay? So I'm going to come right here for the key. Remember, it's E minor. Come here.
Propagate, I hit the volume, making you jam me to the night. Check it, stop it, cause I will chop it tonight. Oh my darling, 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 oh you are see body, see body, see body. Oh my darling, 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 oh you are see body.
So I'm going to come right here and create a bus so that, you know, I can apply common effects like EQ, compression, reverb, all of that good stuff. So just by highlighting them by holding Control or Command and Shift and left click each one. Come to the MC parts, come to track routing. You can do create submix or route selected to this track only. That one is fine. You can see now they're all wired in here. Then rename back. Oh, I don't even need to name it. I can just use the backup bus. Again, go back to the chains, then backup bus stock. Just drop it here, and then. Now, if you want the backup vocals to be louder, you can simply increase the volume here, or you can come to the limiter and just increase again the gain.
me through the night. Checking stuff.
And then we can then create a reverb for this guy or reverbs for this guy. And I'm going to come to reverb send, again stock, and then just send it in here. So I want it to be a lot, so not like too dry.
Pretty adora, tempting anybody. All the ladies say she no want leave me on my J. Say my number don't they put her on no J. Moving very bad, yeah she know.
So if you have this preset already, there's an update that comes with it, or if you want to get it, the preset gets updated, free lifetime updates. So I'm going to come to this update. I want the vocals to move left and right. So this guy right here, I'm going to come right here to movements and just drop it. Then maybe place it in center. I want to move from left ear to right ear.
Making me to lose my mind, oh. Pretty adora, tempting anybody. All the ladies say she no want leave me on my J. Say my number don't they put her on no J. Moving very bad, yeah she know. Moving very bad, yeah she know. In a DVD, the propagate. I hit the volume, making you jam me through the night.
So let's hear the unmixed, and then we hear the mixed. This is the unmixed.
Go coco below. I like it the way you move. Sexy, rose. Oh. She making me to lose on my mind. Oh, pretty adora, tempting anybody. All the ladies say she no want leave me on my J. Say my number don't they put her on no J. Moving very bad, yeah she know. Moving very bad, yeah she know. In a DVD, the propagate. I hit the volume, making you jam me through the night. Shake it, stop it, cause I will chop it tonight. Oh my darling, oh you see body, oh.
And this is how it sounds when it's mixed.
Go coco below. I like it the way you move. Sexy, rose. Oh. She making me to lose my mind. Oh, pretty adora, tempting anybody. All the ladies say she no want leave me on my J. Say my number don't they put her on no J. Moving very bad, yeah she know. Moving very bad, yeah she know. In a DVD, the propagate. I hit the volume, making you jam me through the night. Checking, stop it, cause I will chop it tonight. Oh my darling, oh you are see body, oh.
All right, so that sounds good. Then we can export it for mastering. Come to export. You want to export as WAV file, okay? So when you have this window right here, all you have to do is just simply click start. Just copy my settings, okay? The way my settings look. Make sure yours looks identical. Then you click start. And then you wait for it to export. So when it's done exporting, all you have to do is just bring in the exported track. Yes, we can master it in here, so it's all good. So we have this right here. If you look at both, you can even see one looks more controlled. This has less dynamic range, but this has a lot of dynamic range. Although that is not the most ideal way to compare what's better mixed or not, but like this is just, just for you to just see an easier way to see what you did, right? So now we're going to come here and go to the busiest part of your song. Most times it's the chorus. I'm going to link it to a mixer, then use Fruity EQ and just cut out a little bit of low end so I can have more headroom. Okay. Make sure you have linear phase and just between 20 to 30 hertz. So let's leave it at 26. And if your mix sounds a bit too harsh, you can dampen it a little bit in the high frequency between 1 to 3 dB. Or if it's too dark, you can boost it a little bit by 1 to 3 dB. So I'm going to cut mine a little bit. And if you want to talk the vocals in some more, you can come to the mids and just dip it a little bit. And if you want to push the vocals up, you can come here. But anything more than 1 to 3 dB, you need to go back to your mix to adjust that, okay? So then next we're going to do is use Fruity Limiter. And I do not like using Fruity Limiter for mastering, but since it's stock plugins, that's what you're stuck with using. So I'm going to come to Fruity Limiter, and we're going to simply adjust the ceiling up. Okay, take it as high as possible. For now, we're going to bring it back down, but take it as high as possible, and then come to the gain, also take it as high as possible. Now we're going to load up a free meter, a free loudness meter called Yulin loudness meter, to tell us some important numbers that we need to know. We want the integrated to be between -8 to -12, and we want the true peak max to be usually negative or somewhere close to 0. Okay, you don't want to be on the positive for too long. Most times it should be within this range. Occasionally it can go higher or lower, but most times within this range. So when I press play, you can see I'm not hitting that number quite yet, so I have to boost the gain. My integrated, I have to increase the gain to get to my integrated level. Now I'm at -10, but I'm clipping obviously 3.0, so I'm going to come to ceiling and cut some of these peaks. You can see these peaks up here, cut some of it. So this is how you mix and master using stock plugins in FL Studio. Remember, if you want to get this preset, I do recommend you get it to save you time and give you brilliant results consistently. So if you want to get it, the link is in the description of this video. If you find this helpful, like and subscribe for more tutorials, tips, and tricks. Cheers.